guys, today is going to be a very interesting video. Now, if you don't know, I am Charlie and I make polymer clay earrings and accessories. I've been working with polymer clay for 4.5 years now, and I feel like I know what I'm doing. I mean, I do it full time, so I'm pretty experienced with clay. Now, I've used lots of different ones. I normally use Fimo clay, but as of lately, I have been testing some Sculpey clay and Cernet clay as well. So I've got a good experience of different textures and different styles of clay, how they bake and stuff like that. But when I first started clay and I wanted to see if it was for me, I ordered a cheap set off Amazon and it was awful. And that's been one of my biggest pieces of advice for any beginners is don't use the cheap clay, go for Fimo, Sculpey, something like that. But I've been thinking recently, I didn't really give it a fair advantage because when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. I was rolling the clay way too thin. I was baking it for probably the wrong time and the wrong temperature. And so now I thought, why don't I buy the cheapest set I can find on Amazon and then test it out for you properly so that we can see together if it's worth buying it as a beginner so that you don't need to spend too much money. So I found this kit on Amazon and it is £6.50, which I think is really, really affordable for the amount of colours and clay that you get. So today we're going to test these out, try out a few different colours, use a few different techniques, pop them in the oven, and maybe even do the same but with the clay that I usually use so we can compare them, see what they're like. Because when I started trying it, about 5 years ago, I started with the polymer clay before I started my business. The earrings, every time they would come out the oven, they would just snap straight away. They were really bad quality. So I'm really intrigued to see how good this really is and if it's worth it for you. So hopefully this video can help you if you are a beginner. Right, let's see how many. I don't know how many pieces of clay it actually has, so let's have a look. Okay, so here is all the clay that you get. So we've got 14 slabs of clay, lots of different colours to work with here, which is really useful if it's your first time. And it also comes with some tools, which is really handy as well. As I already said, this was £6.50 for the whole thing. And usually if I was to buy Fimo clay, for example, with the 12 colours that we've got here, it would be about £45. So you can see you get an absolute bargain if this works. So let's do this pink. I like this pink. It's not as thick as it looks, but it's still enough if you want to just try it out. Oh, okay, we're going to use pink and yellow. Let's try that. Oh my god, it's got more colours underneath. Oh, that's even better. So it actually comes with 24 pieces of clay. Wow. So actually it would be about £80 for this, not 45. Oh, that's really good. You get so many colours. Okay, first of all, the clay does feel really weird compared to mine. We'll get some pink and yellow clay from Fimo as well, so we can compare the difference. Now it's funny because with Fimo clay it's actually quite solid sometimes and an absolute nightmare to work with, but here is the yellow and pink from Fimo, and then these ones are the cheaper one. So first of all, what we need to do with clay in general, no matter what clay it is, we need to condition it. So what I would usually do is use an acrylic roller to roll it out flat and then put it through my pasta machine a few times to condition it. And if you don't condition your clay, it means that it's going to be more brittle when it comes out the oven and it won't bake properly, basically. So we want to condition it so it's nice and soft, ready to use. So we're going to do the Amazon clay first and just see firstly how it conditions. So we'll just roll it out. It seems to be okay so far. And we'll pop some through my pasta machine and see how it goes through there. Okay, so we want setting 2. That's what I usually put my earrings on. And we're just going to run it through a few times. I'll condition the rest of the clay and then I'll be back. All the clay is now conditioned, but I've just noticed something really odd. So it comes with this little sheet here, so I wanted to see how long it bakes for, if it's the same as Fimo. It says to bake for only 10 degrees more, so I'm just going to put them both on 120. It's fine. What I did notice on here is it says water boiling method. Put the products into a pan and let the water overflow the products. After the water comes to a boil, put them in for 15 to 20 minutes. When the water is cool, take out the products. I can't be the only one that's never heard of water boiling polymer clay. Leave it in the comments if you agree that I should do a video of me trying this clay again, but boiling it in water to cure. Let me know as well if you've ever heard of that. I have never heard of that in my life. I feel like it is surely never going to work, but I am willing to try that to see if it does, because I'm extremely intrigued. So that is a really weird, I don't know. It's thrown me off. Okay, anyway, I've conditioned the clay now. I will say the Amazon clay did not condition as well as the Fimo clay. I'll show you the difference now. I conditioned them the exact same, but as you can see, the Amazon one here, which is the lighter one, has got lots of marks and stuff on it. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, whereas the Fimo one hasn't. So yeah, and it's the same with the yellow too. The darker yellow is Amazon, so you can see there's lots of little marks on it, whereas on the Fimo one there isn't. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm just going to try and work around that, like smooth it out a little bit. You can just smooth it out with your fingers, and then let's get some cutters and just try out some simple designs. I'm thinking for the pink, let's do a flower, and for the yellow, why don't we do lemons? But not any lemons, because I've got this bead roller which makes 3D lemons. So I'm going to do the pink one as 2D and then the yellow one as 3D, so we can see what the texture and the feel and everything's like after it's 3D, because I feel like surely that will have much more stability after being baked. So let's try it. This is the Fimo clay first. So I've got different shades just to make sure that we can just tell the difference. So I'm going to put the yellow clay inside the bead roller, pop the lid on, and you just do this and it creates a lemon shape. I'm gonna skip this part because the sound is horrendous. Listen. No, you don't want to hear that. Here's our Fimo lemon. It's keeping a lot of texture on it, if you can see that. Can you see all the lines and stuff on it? I can't seem to get rid of that in the machine, which doesn't usually happen, but it has taken a better shape than the Fimo, I think, because it's softer. And then let's do the pink ones as well. So we're going to do some flowers for these, just a really simple design, just to test out, because realistically, if you're a beginner, you're not going to be doing really intricate designs. So I'm just going to do a flower cutter. Anyone can do that. Let's see the difference in these ones. So here is the Amazon clay. I'm just going to press it down, give it a wiggle and lift it up. Perfect. Love this shade of pink as well, much better than this one. And then here is the Fimo one. So you want to push it down, give it a wiggle, lift it up. And that one's got stuck in here. So interestingly, this one's actually worked much better. But just a tip, instead of scraping this out and making a mess, you can just do this and pull it up, and then you can still use the item then. So we've got this flower and this flower. Now personally, I prefer the colour of the Amazon one. I think that's a beautiful colour. So I'm going to pop them all into the oven now, the lemons and these ones, and we'll see what they're like when they come out. It says they need about 30 minutes, so I'm going to put 30 minutes on the timer because that's how much Fimo needs as well. They're in the oven and now we wait. Minutes has passed and they are now out of the oven, so they are still a little bit warm, but I'm going to take the lemons off of the stick. So here is the Fimo one, and then again the dark one is the Amazon one. But I wanted to kind of give them a bit of a squish and see if they kind of are still hard after, or if they're completely going to be able to like misshape, if that makes sense. So this is the Fimo one, so if you squish it, there's absolutely no way it's misshaping. It's staying the same. You can see here, you can squish, but it's not changed. I'm nervous. Right, are we ready? Oh, has it misshaped? A tiny bit, but it's very hard. No, actually it's not. It's not. Oh. Okay, this is good so far. They both feel exactly the same. They don't squish, they've hardened well. There's literally no difference pretty much, which I'm actually really surprised about. Now this is where more of an accurate test comes into play. Now remember, the lighter one is Amazon and the darker one is Fimo, which is the clay that I usually use to make earrings. Now at first glance, these have actually both done really well because I've not had to sand them or anything. They're pretty much perfect and ready to go. So what we're going to do is try and bend them slightly. Now what I will say is with Fimo, you can't bend the clay after it's done. It is solid. You can see here like the flexibility, there's absolutely none. Whereas I think with Sculpey there is, but let's test this one just gently. It's pretty much, I'm actually so surprised. It's actually pretty good. I think another test we can do is drill holes into them, see if it snaps them, because that can happen. When you drill a hole to do the attachment, it can snap. So let's drill the holes in them and put some attachments on. Okay. It's just snapped. Now, this one doesn't snap as easy. You can really press on it, but this one, if you press on it, it's just crumbling. It's just literally crumbling. Okay. Oh, I thought we were getting somewhere there. I thought it was gonna be okay. But you can literally just do that and it comes apart. So I guess for earrings, I wouldn't recommend. It's just a little bit too soft and it has just completely snapped. Although, it's great solid form. So really, the clay itself isn't too bad. I would say I would use it more for sculpting 3D characters. Maybe that would work better. Although I probably wouldn't use it if you've got small details, like maybe a little nose and stuff like that, because it'll probably break. But there's absolutely no difference with it 3D. So if you wanted to use this clay to make tiny little beads or make 3D items, I think it's okay. It actually works quite nice. I just wouldn't use 2D items because it is brittle. It's too soft and it just snaps. So I wouldn't recommend it for that, but I would recommend it for 3D items, which I think actually isn't too bad. And when I first used Amazon clay when I was first starting out, I don't remember it being that good 3D wise, so I would actually recommend this. So what I'm going to do is actually give away the rest of the clay for one of you guys. So if you're a beginner and you want the clay for free, so you can try out Polymer clay for the first time yourself, comment down below whatever comment you want. It just needs a comment of some kind and I will respond to your comment and let you know that you've won the rest of the clay. So I will keep 2 aside for a video for us to boil the clay and see how that works, but the rest of it I will give away. So if you want to win the clay, just leave a comment below and I will pick one of you at random. I feel like this was actually a really good test to test out the 3D and the 2D so we could see what works well and what doesn't. If you do win the clay and you want to try it out for yourself, or you want to buy the clay yourself and try it, let me know in the comments what you think of it. You might have a different experience to me. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped, and if you want to see me test any other clay, let me know in the comments so I know what to test next. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to buy my Polymer clay earrings yourself, there is a link in the description down below for my shop, but it is just charrings.com. I've got some of our strawberry earrings in now, but I do lots of earrings. You can see the display behind me. I do loads of earrings and other accessories as well. So if you'd like to treat yourself to something from my shop, please do, I won't say no. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, then they are also in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.